Hi, my name is Angela Marie. I am 27 years old and I have stage 3 breast cancer. Now this is my first vlog ever. So behind me I do have like a little bit of a reference guide to kind of keep me on track to go over everything I wanted to talk about in this video. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to share my journey with you guys is because I wanted to bring awareness to cancer patients, young adults, and just to talk about breast cancer in general, because I don't think it's something that's necessarily talked about or really mentioned. I don't really see too much about it. I've been following a lot of Instagram posts, a lot of YouTubers, just to kind of help me go through this process, and I would love to do the same for somebody, hopefully. It just goes to show you that you can be as healthy as can be and you could get a diagnosis like this. And it's not easy to cope with, but hey, this is where we are. It's also something I wanted to look back on throughout this journey, so I can tell myself, hey, I have made it this far, and just to keep going, keep pushing, because it's kind of like a healing process for me. Don't get me wrong though, I have so many days where I question to myself, why did this happen to me? Why did I get diagnosed with cancer at 26? And it hasn't been something easy to kind of wrap my head around, but there's only so many things I could do. Either I could become in this depressive funk and just literally question everything, or I can try to remain as positive and as determined to keep going, keep pushing, and have a positive outlook that everything will be okay. That's what I gotta keep telling myself to get me through it. Gotta wake up every morning and say I will come out on top of this. And I wouldn't be throwing something that I couldn't handle. Before this, I was a very active person. I played soccer, I had a full-time job, I was apprenticing to become an optician, and I had about a year and a half left. Was about to start schooling here in the fall and hopefully get my degree and everything a year down the line. But of course, this kind of set me back some time, but I'm coping with that the best as I can. Unfortunately, with the whole COVID pandemic, I was told that I couldn't work. I basically have to take care of myself. I can't get sick, because if I get sick, they would have to stop the chemotherapy. I wouldn't be able to start, and that would just prolong everything. And that was something I could not take a chance on, because fighting for my life is the most important thing for me. Especially running with the type of cancer I have is very aggressive, and it was very important that they got a hold on it as soon as they could. Now, how I originally noticed the lump was I was laying in bed one night, and all of a sudden I woke up out of a dead sleep, and I felt this really bad pain in my left breast. And at first, I honestly didn't think much of it. Cystic breasts run in my family, so I just thought, hey, this is just something that'll go away, but it didn't. About 2 days later, I noticed the pain stopped, but there was still a pretty big sized lump that didn't seem to go down, but it didn't have any pain. It didn't have any pain at all. So, knowing me, I procrastinated. I waited about 2 months, and then I finally decided that, hey, maybe I should go to the doctor and get this thing checked out. So that's exactly what I did. I went to the doctor and I got my lump checked out. At first, he went ahead, looked at it, of course, did a little breast exam, and he noticed how large it was, and considering I had no pain associated with it, he was alarmed. He issued me the very next day to go ahead and get an ultrasound to kind of see what's going further along into it. And that's exactly what we did. The next day, I went in to get the ultrasound, and at first they noticed it was a solid mass, and they had concerning looks on their face, but I guess I was so in denial at this point that I didn't really take too much thought into it at all. So it went from getting the ultrasound to them walking me down the hall and ordering a mammogram, just like that. So I went ahead, got the mammogram. They took a couple of images, and they walked me back to the ultrasound room, and they told me that on the mammogram they found a couple of things that lit up. They noticed some lymph nodes were definitely bigger than what they should be. They noticed a lump up at the top of my breast, and they noticed, of course, the large one at the lower part of mine. And considering that it was solid, they wanted to go ahead and do another ultrasound right then and there to kind of look further into it to see what all's going on. So they did that, waited a couple minutes in the room by myself, kind of trying to collect my thoughts in there. And then the radiologist comes in, and they're basically like, so we want to go ahead and schedule you to do a biopsy, and we want to schedule that tomorrow. And the first thing that came to my head was like, okay, why are we doing a biopsy? What's going on? Like, what can you guys tell me? And the only thing they could say was that we want to rule out that this isn't cancer. And that's something I didn't think I was gonna hear. I was not expecting that whatsoever. So what can I do? I picked myself up. I went outside into the car to kind of explain and explain to my boyfriend about what's going on. That the doctor said that I have to get a biopsy because they want to make sure that they don't see any cancer. So next morning, went to get the biopsy done, and the only thing they kept asking was, does breast cancer run in your family? Does cancer run in your family? And honestly, it doesn't. There's nobody that I'm aware of that has had breast cancer or many cancers in general. So this is just coming as like a really big surprise to me. So we went ahead, I got the biopsy done. I guess it was very painful. It was something I really hope I didn't have to experience, but I did. And about a week later, actually no, it was that same week I got the results in about the biopsy. So with invasive ductal carcinoma, what it is that it starts growing in your milk ducts, and it starts spreading to the fatty tissues in the surrounding areas of my breasts. It's also considered stage 3 because my lymph nodes did get tested positive as well for cancer. And those are metastatic carcinoma. I am also triple positive breast cancer, which means that my hormones were feeding off of it. So with that being said, I had to switch to a birth control that has completely hormone free, so that way it'll stop the spreading and everything, and just to stop it from growing so fast. So the original size of my tumor before chemotherapy or anything was roughly 5.4 centimeters, which was the lower part of my breast. The one at the top where they found another mass was called a fibroedema, and I'm probably butchering that, so excuse me. But other than that, as far as chemotherapy goes, I have been on 11 treatments so far. I go every Wednesday. I have one more left to go for this round. And then after that starts another type of chemo, which is going to be called AC. So going back to my first 11 treatments that I've had, they have been doing targeted hormone therapy, which is Herceptin, Perjeta, and then the main chemo, which is called Abraxane. And besides that, I'm also taking 10 chemo pills a day. I take 5 in the morning, 5 at night, and along with a bunch of other medication to kind of help balance with the nausea that I have constantly, and also taking steroids, kind of help with a lot of the pains I'm having with my neck and my back, and kind of help with the nausea going down so that way I'm able to eat and just try to remain kind of normal, I guess you could say. Other than that, as far as the chemo has been responding, my body's responding really well to it. My lumps that I have gone down significantly in size. Went from 5.4 all the way down to where they could barely even feel it anymore. All they could feel is some fatty tissue, but nothing that they could really get a good size measurement on, which is great. And I'm so thankful that all this is progressing as best as it can. Now I know this is going to be a long road ahead of me. I know it doesn't just stop at chemotherapy, because after this I am going to be doing surgery and then radiation, and then I will be having some targeted hormone therapy for about a good year on after. But I just wanted to say thank you for everybody who has been there for me, as far as you guys have, and supporting me, trying to cheer me up, and doing everything that you can. I sincerely appreciate every one of you guys. And I hope that with this video, it brings awareness, and that just to let you guys know that you aren't alone in any of this. And it does happen, and you can remain a positive outlook. You don't have to be sad all the time, but it's perfectly okay to be sad. It's okay to scream, it's okay to cry, it's okay to feel whatever you are feeling, because what you're feeling matters. And with that being said, I will continue to post. I'm going to try to post weekly and try to film what it's like going on in my everyday life with going to chemo, and how I just interact with everything. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.